Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the people, the voice of the voiceless.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the program we call Colors right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you very much for you joining me inside the program this morning. We can look at the front pages of the newspaper before we bring in. We guess them where we come in and analyze the issues them where we already don't get. The first issue where we get or the first paper inside the program this morning at the Arco newspaper. The Arco newspaper say PPRC issues political parties possession guidelines. You as well get 2023 citizens manifesto. Districts demand traffic lights instead of police. And you as well get former Devil Hole Edman resident raided. Military attire cutlass found in former Devil Hole Edman's residence. Election, their outcome should focus on the will of the people. Ireland Second Secretary State. This another story for you inside the Auco for this morning. The next one, beyond borders, beyond borders. Beyond Borders say Ministry of Health and Sanitation and partners launch Act Procurement Guidelines and National Alcohol Policy. IGR launches Citizens Manifesto and Parliament ratifies bilateral agreements. This is another story for you inside the Beyond Borders newspaper. The next one, as the solutionist, we say ECSL boss breaks silence over the voter ID card. And you as well get Finance Act 2023 will reassert hardship and unemployment. This is another story for you inside the solutionist. The next one, now the Saloon Times, we say over the assassination of ASP Banya, CCSL condemns extrajudicial killings. And you as well get Leon Rock Metal Group seek growth opportunities in West Africa. NSCSL commemorates International Day of Street Children, and ICAP launches 2023-2027 National IPC Strategic Plan for Sierra Leone. This is another story for inside the Saloon Times. The next one at the Calabash newspaper. We say ahead of June 24th elections, Kandeh Yumkella finally enters into strategic alliance with SLPP. And as well get officially to be launched on 20th April. Peace Commission builds capacity to efficiently man in situation room. And SLURC and GDI up launch research report on built environment in Freetown. SLPP Washington Metro chapter donate $40,000 towards re-election of President Bio. IGR launched the Citizens Manifesto. This is another story for you inside the Calabash newspaper for this morning. The next paper, now the Voice of Salone, where the PPRC issues out political rallies guidelines. And Bio revokes appointment of special trade envoy. And you as well get Parliament ratifies bilateral agreement, and for 2023 pool, Samoa Kamara calls for level playing ground. This is another playing field. This is another story day for you inside this edition of the Voice of Salone. The next one, now Premier News will say food insecurity doubles, and you get Obasanjo leads West Africa Elders Forum pre-election mission to Sierra Leone project to address vulnerability of coastal community. Plenty other story for you inside this edition of Premier News. The next one are the Standard Times, where say abandoning post, Finance Ministry blast Sajusu, and Abo Police crackdown on Blackgate drug cartel. This is another story for you inside the Standard Times newspaper. The next paper for this morning, now the independent observers will say kudos to Lebanese Union, and you get Lab, UNICEF, and UN Peace Building Fund discuss election. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Independent Observer. The next paper, now the Concord Times. 2023 presidential elections. The KKY Bio Alliance. And you as well get ahead of 24 June elections. UN frowns at toxic regional political religious division. You as well get my party is posed to win the 2024 the June 24th elections. Dr. Samoa Kamara tells ECOWAS AU joint mission. ECSL frowns at low quality voter IDs, vow to engage contractors. ECSL boss. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Concord Times. And the next one are the Home Times, where say environment bill needed yesterday pass. Environment bill needed yesterday passed into law, and you get my experience makes me most suitable for BDC. You as well get Bo plunge into darkness again, and more than 600 communities want Dixon Rogers as MP for life. This and other story there for you inside this edition of Home Times newspaper. And the next paper for this morning, now the Salone Compass newspaper. Salone Compass newspaper get this headline we say Monster 2023 Financial Act, Business Community, Citizens Blast. And you as well get June 24th election, APC demands level playing field. This is another story there for you inside this edition of the Salone Compass. The next one, now Daybreak newspaper say after raining Mami course, citizens ask Sajusu is another Adebayo. And you as well get Basita Michael reacts to the killing of ASP Bania, and Slash condemns killing of policeman in Makeni. And Africanist Press, Sierra Leone Electoral Commission inflated election procurement contract by 6.3 million United States dollars, and APC Secretary General explain meaning of party 2023 campaign slogan. This another story for you inside this edition of the Salone Compass. The next paper for this morning, of Daybreak. The next paper for this morning, now the African 24, we say on Ike, foodstuff, battered economy, Samoa and Bio. Show us your care. Show us your care. In unlawful killing of ASP Moiwa and Bania, legal link demands public inquiry, and murder at water Woodland Estate, British citizen, 2 Sierra Leoneans arrested, and 2023 citizens manifesto launch, but challenges facing the police. This is another story for you inside this edition of the African 24. And Vindicator newspaper, when the last paper for this morning, say Lab, UNICEF, and UN discuss election issues, and Finance Ministry unveil simplified version of fiscal year 2023 budget, and Biden to meet with Irish leaders, and judiciary trains judge on electoral justice. This is another story for you inside this edition of the Vindicator newspaper for this morning. Well, now all the paper in this way we actually get for you inside the program this morning, where we go basically can watch the different story them we don't come from the different newspaper then. Well, we they take a very short break and bring in we guess them, we will come and analyze the different issue. But for now, let's just take this break as we don't review, as we don't watch the different paper then.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how sneeze again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wahala now we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for eat in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we dey bring to you this program where we call Colres, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the
all right, welcome back to your program. We're in a cool rest right on we are on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay, inside the program this morning we don't get two guests that we don't join inside the program. First, we come, they say first come first serve. Edward Mara na the person we first join inside the program. Of course, you don't witness the kind of analysis where Edward done the get inside the program. You know, the different editions them. And Edward, good morning and welcome. You know, to stranger, you don't need boku introduction. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Slpp. Thank you so much.
All right, and again, another person we don't need introduction again inside the show. Now, journalist Victor Tutu Rogers himself done the give you different analysis inside the program for he give taste to the different issues them. So himself done join me inside the program this morning, and today with me na the WhatsApp line. Welcome to the program, Mr. Victor Tutu Rogers.
Present, good day, good having me.
I like forget inside the show.
I like for you.
No, okay.
The show.
Okay,
it makes us reflect. Always reflect.
I know.
Yes.
Okay. Reflect on waiting.
On issues surrounding Sierra Leone.
Okay.
As to how far we've gone.
Okay.
Where we started.
Okay.
And to date, we're on it. So that shows the kind of sacrificial job.
All right.
We don't exercise all this while for still in the race. We be buckwed by this race. Some man they don't give up. Some man they just say not necessary again. But we are still there as a humanitarian job. The one not so easy thing is for facing. Now a job where one step in, one step out. What I mean, either one step in the jail or one step out of the jail.
It depends how you play card.
For far too long to this age, we never fall victim because we feel say we do something that is neutral.
No, so, me I don't fall victim. Although not to waiting on the scene, I don't fall victim. Me and policeman there. But anyway, we will get that in another discussion.
I'm not saying you to not ever fall. Okay. And they talk about generally.
All right.
And I make we go out of the race.
I know.
We are still there having humanity.
Okay. Anyway, let me go now into the different paper. Then we start with the first paper, when are the solutionist, and I will start with you again. Victor. Let me look at the issue with the inside the solutionist newspaper. One of the issue them gets to do with the Finance Act of 2023. This paper, when are the solutionists say, it's a Finance Act 2023 will reassert hardship and unemployment. What do you take on this Finance Act, Victor?
Oh yeah. I will start by saying, why you not go in line with your introduction? First come, first serve. Now, if the first man we introduce,
Yeah, but now you are just waiting. I can take anybody at any point. Not to, now the introduction, because me don't care first, but I can take anybody at any point. I just want to get your candid opinion.
That other version. Thank you very much. When you look at the act of itself, at a crucial moment like this, for let that kind act come, you begin to imagine from Musa it be tabled, Musa it be discussed, and after discussion, what was the final conclusion to that discussion for let it lead to Musa a day right now? Tells you it has gone through stages, and those stages are being there represented by our representatives who voted for, that are in parliament. And now then they think fast ahead of we. Now then at the end of the day they talk on we behalf, because we entrust our kind of ideas in there as to how they will debate on the country.
But Victor, you know say most of the time they can pass laws then we're not in the way interest. So the question is, what thing you take on this? Because the headline for this say this particular 2023 Finance Act don't make more hardship and unemployment good day for the people of the country. So I need you own, as a journalist, your own analysis.
Yes, for which as I talk to you now is under debate, and the debate speculation even they say with the kind thing the way and they inside the details now go EV warrant the president at this crucial time for EV append his signatory to run, and it is really under a heavy crucial
but
debate.
before ever this thing go to parliament, the president don't see him. The president they don't discuss on a cabinet, they don't approve him. They might make it go to parliament.
When it can parliament, it can be approved based on what in the initial debate, what you go around that. I mean, president is not economically inclined, not to economist. But again, people then at the field way for council are saying that this and this they happen. We don't see on many occasions.
And the person way for tell and waiting they happen at the Minister of Finance when in financial advisor. And they don't meet at cabinet meeting, they don't watch them, they don't discuss them. Now it in a parliament.
Thank you. So the idea of the minister for it just like the idea of the Attorney General pass on laws before they go pass. So a single man idea, I mean, human being is dynamic and you know go.
But I know for this a single man because I think where they go in a cabinet and they all make their own input.
That's it. They make inputs in the cabinet as a government. But when they come to the area of the parliament, parliament is a mixture of different political parties with different ideas, different brains, fresh ideas. So during the time where just a cabinet at itself be the drum, maybe they look at it at the political lens of one side, or maybe because of the party, so it can be one-sided. But when it comes into a mixture, and that mixture try for view the point who side the cabinet come out and agree that means they were on the right track.
All right, so I'll only right from that point.
If it can a cabinet, it become debatable, and it gets some rules for some, but not there for fix.
One last question where I go ask you. In your opinion, you think say this one will make more hardship and unemployment than in the country? In your own opinion, not waiting the member of parliament or cabinet think.
In my opinion, I've not read it to detail yet.
Based on what you don't hear, radio discussion, television, parliament, even without reading it.
Discussions are compared to details of the content. Now, two different things.
All right.
I mean, if I read and take to the tail end, I grab what they grab. It's different from what that man don't read. It already grab. And from your opinion, they read.
Okay, so right from that point, all you did, since you know you
don't get detail. But the way how it is, the way it can be challenging. And if you see the president self, it don't look so sideways. If he says somebody, it don't become debate. That means there are so many boats to fix properly.
Edward, now bring you come inside quickly on this. What do you say take on this particular finance act? According to this headline, he said they make more hardship and unemployment than the country.
Well, thank you very much. I don't go through part of the act, and then I think say this is one of the worst things that don't ever happen. You know, na the Minister of Finance. You know, when a ministry charge the responsibility of bringing out policies, you know, for the effective running of the economy, they you decide for bring laws the way, you know, mean well for the citizens of the country. It means you have not been fair to the people of Sierra Leone. Like me, what I've been talk about, say the matter has been discussed in Parliament, and then now it's before Parliament and parliamentarians where in things say it's a mixture of Sierra Leoneans across the board. They are looking to it. We also think that as outsiders of Parliament, as citizens of this country, we get the responsibility for add with voice to a critical debate like this. We get for deal with the welfare and the survival of the people of Sierra Leone. And I can tell you the whole governance aspect of the states, every loss that we get for make. Now lost them, we not get for much hindered, you know, on the survival of the citizens of the country. But if you bring him lost them, we intend for bring more hardship. Because mind you, the Financial Act, me border, even when them pass into law. Keke we na keke, we right now, the bulk of the transportation system right now in the Western area. Now keke don't even overcome na the taxi where normally will be all be known before. Then SSF right now, they get for begin tax them now on the lily way that they collect for the day. So when you look at all the situation and they find out say the end product at the end of the day, now the ordinary citizens, the Sierra Leoneans, then they get for suffer. Because waiting get for happen when governments begin to tax even the little businesses where you look at them capital, even minimum, and they just do a normal for the runners just simply because they want to survive for the day. For example, a keke rider, the maximum money we go make for the day, so now 260,000, 240,000. Because we don't interview many of them. They go pay a master, 120 or 130,000. A pull in chop money, they get for paying PK school fees, they get for take care of other domestic needs them. What you get for left now that I can right a day in hand. So basically, the way they look at it, and the end product where it get for happy, it get for bring more hardship on the citizens of Sierra Leone. What's it maybe they look at this point in time when you talk about we economy, make you say it's in coma. A difficult now for let this economy come back to the normal like years back where they say Sierra Leone is the fastest growing economy. One of the indicators the way they use them and they for measure up now the massive international multinational companies the way they enter into the country. The mining sector become boom. We had the Africa mining, the London mining, the rock mining, Optia mining, other companies that way they become. They find out say the more employment they create, the more income they pour into the economy, the more we GDP they grow, and the more the life of the ordinary citizens then they become better. But when you get a current system wherein we do have that kind of large scale of companies then into the country, where you go talk say, well, this company don't come, they don't provide over 10,000 to 15,000 jobs like the Africa Mineral did and other companies there. You not go able really forget the required result in terms of mobilizing
Edward,
the local economy.
Please, all your thoughts, not go away with them. I just want for you make some points while I'm being Victor. Victor, according to this particular law, then say even the one the way they do small betting, where, like for example, you sit down there, you watch game, go bet, for them get their own small thing. Then say, you when they put you 1,000 for even bet, you for pay tax for that you 1,000 there now. Then say, because if you not been get money, you know they go bet. So since you the bet, you for pay tax for that day. Not for the win where you win, but the money sets of the 1,000, you for pay tax per day. You know what I mean? Say this all, you know, even for example, they say, even if you get small business and your business, they run at loss, you for pay tax. Where this not been happen before?
Well, I go beginning from the example where you said, where you say for even go bet where you put money for pay. I mean, this has been happening. Where Mercury, where you play, where you come on, they put some tax by the money where you win.
No, not for the winning we they talk about. The 1,000 where you the bet with.
Now just example no more. Now just example, but they pull out. I just bring down the quick for it reflect back. But I tell you in my initial statement, say the bill for it to be passed by now, with that kind of that can, I mean, a crucial moment. I mean, I think I've initially said that. I mean, waiting all the embezzle, where I want to talk, where the inside make a call, I say it's a crucial moment. Naomi, brother, just expand on that at a time like this, very close to election, and everybody they yarn at election at a crisis where everybody. I mean, they grab our economical challenge. I think it's like saying when government is back, or wherever government, but when government is back, then within the 5 years we'll start for creep again from that point there. I think
okay, so I will still ask you the question where we ask you first where we start, you know. According to the headline, this particular bill, they actually make hardship and unemployment rampant in the country, like a boku in the country. You still support that or not?
No, I go there in line with that. It will make so many challenges. It will cause a lot of challenges.
Go back to
one thing they pass along business when something come on new, when people are not used to it. I tell you that they grab for later used to it creates so many challenges.
Okay,
Edward. Because some people that go way out of the team for let us see. So it has to be challenging.
Edward, did you hear Victor clear, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead and continue to your point you make. I mean, just want to clarify something.
Yeah, so Slpp, like I mean, they say, you know, currently this way our economy is battered. You know, we don't get any serious economic activities right now where they go on at the country, where government they be able for amass, you know, revenue for make sure say they even support to budgetary, you know, project them, and also for enhance the effective, you know, running of the government. You want for bring the kind of laws there. Many they look at say because we are in the eve of the election, you know, and then not for bring the laws there. The reality is this is a bad law. A bad law is a bad law. Whether you look at say whether they do in the eve of the election, whether they do after the election, when a government is introducing a law that is not favorable, that is not in favor of the people of Sierra Leone, because what me they say so, I will look at this law in my own personal analysis and opinion that this law is not in the favor of the ordinary Sierra Leonean. Because mind you, all of them small scale businesses, even that mamina we get for the Congo market, then begin for tax in, you know, small scale businesses, petty traders, just petty traders, we look at the capital income.
And interestingly, them petty traders, then they pay tax already through the GST, but now they want for let them directly pay tax.
Not even through the GST, then they pay to the city council on a daily basis. If you go to the market, the right there, they will tell you, say, every day you have the city council, you know, tax collectors, where then they go there, then they give tickets to them, they pay before they sell. Some of them then capital investments now 200,000 or 250,000 loans. You begin put, you know, taxes and all of them things, and they what they bring now more hardship for them people in the end. What thing for be the end result? Then SSF now they get for make sure say out of the tax system where they get for the pay, they get for also try for factor in terms of their prices, you know, in terms of their sales. So at the end of the day, the consumer, when now we get for be way that the ordinary citizen we get for be the final consumer, now you get for suffer at the expense of government, you know, insincerity, you know, insensitivity, towards the welfare of the people of Sierra Leone. So for me, it's a bad law, and I think we have to call on the parliament. I mean, we have to add our voice to this debate. It's not only for the parliamentarians for let them come forward and debate some of these things. We don't see that the current parliament, in my own opinion, is nothing to write home about. We don't see how bills were tabled in that parliament, and the end result, some of them bill, and it was not properly scrutinized. It was not done in the best interest of the people until after where the bill don't go through. Now, you even ask some parliamentarians, hey, whether they may not be there in parliament, for them be the debate that bill, and so we are not able to discuss much about that bill. And you, as a member of parliament, that is your primary responsibility of being a parliamentarian, looking at every bill where they're going before that parliament today. You critically look at them, analyze them, whether they're in the best interest of the people of Sierra Leone or not, before ever una go ahead and pass some of them bill and day. But when you see that a system, is being developed within the parliamentary, circle, where in certain bills are being tabled, past the speaker, they begin call on members of parliament to report to parliament so that they will form a quorum for pass some of them bill, and they go ask yourself the question: is our parliament serious about handling the welfare of the people of this country? Because in my own view, some of them bill there we don't go so now. My friend, if this is passed into law, I can tell you, Slpp, we are a disaster is hanging around Sierra Leone when it comes to about the economy. It's not a good law, and even if Parliament pass this into law, my own appeal will be to the president before he assigns his signature to the approval of this bill in the welfare of the people of Sierra Leone way more paramount than individual interest. In all of this, the end of the day, our people are going to suffer. Not only the business people, but the ordinary consumers, when are the ordinary citizens.
Okay, so I want for basically take una inside similar but different topic. We basically when they talk about the premier news, we say food insecurity doubles. In other words, the way how food don't they have to forget now, or way how I don't know how to put them. According to the food insecurity. I will still go to you, Mara. What do you think about this? You buy the idea or the headline where premier news put food insecurity don't double?
100% I will support that because I'm a victim. Last year, I decided to complement the effort of the government of Sierra Leone. And so then I decided to embark on agriculture. I go cultivate over 75 acres of land. I can tell you from the beginning of that seed, from the plowing, from the harrowing, from the site clearing to the harrowing, to the plowing, to the harvesting, everything. I did not receive a cent, a penny, a kobo from the government of Sierra Leone. And I'm coming from the private sector, where in the government, they don't say the private sector, they will support the private sector to take the lead in terms of food production in the country. But I can tell you, even the tractors the government of Sierra Leone supply through the service providers went into the hands and the pocket of politicians. And because I don't have access, and because I don't have the political connection, I was not supported. And at the end of the day, a large portion of my rice went down the drain. So this year, I've decided not to even venture into it because I know last year what I spent, and at the end of the day, I not even recover out of which I spent. So the point is, I'm one of those Sierra Leoneans that is suffering in silence as a result of this nonsense, sometimes government policies that they commit themselves into, food security. We will never be able to achieve food security, in this country when there is not a strong political will. What did happen in Slpp? Anytime we are very close to elections, look at the political parties. Everybody will be bringing out policies around agriculture. Well, when I come, we're going for make sure say I will support the agricultural sector for making the ministry more viable, for reach out and all of them, and for support the local farmers. But at the end of the day, any of these governments when they come, what did they do? Even the support to the farmer, the tractors. If you are not a party card carrier, either in the APC, it happens during the APC, and it is still happening in the SLPP. If you are not a party card carrier, it's difficult for you to benefit from some of this agricultural equipment the way they can at the country, where they support the farmers. So in my own view, the food security in the country from when President Kaba make the pronouncement in 2007, in 2004. He said by the time he left office in 2007, he said no Sierra Leoneans not to go to bed hungry. But today I can tell you, say, Sierra Leoneans are not only going to bed hungry now, but I guess Sierra Leoneans are waiting in the evening, it's 2-3 days, they cannot have food to eat. You know, so not a thing. You see, agriculture is something that we don't politicize. And that is why we keep on missing the point. The more we politicize agriculture, Sierra Leone will never achieve food security. You know, Slpp, less 8 million, people, less than 8 million people, we cannot feed ourselves when we have the land, when we have a seasonal crops then, where they grow across the country. Let's take, for example, if the government is serious, we know that there are districts in this country. Konadugu, for example, is a vital, district where government can invest in. We have Moamba district, we have Potoloko district, we have Kenima district. For rice crops, utilize Kambia district and Konadugu district. For groundnut, we know Potoloko is very good in that. For cashew and all that, we have Kambia district. If you want to invest into cacao and coffee, go to Kailam district. All of these districts, then get them your area of them potential areas there in terms of investment into agriculture, where government can tap into that. But it's sad. It's sad in the sense that since 1961, we gained independence, our situation is becoming more worse than even some people in the Senate say, I bet they will go back to 1961. So in general essence, I can tell you, say, we are in bad situation as a country, and this country, believe in me, our biggest problem right now where they face this country now food.
Okay.
I know hundreds of Sierra Leoneans right now, they are going to bed hungry. I can challenge that, and I can challenge any government function.
In fact, I would just say very, very hungry, not to just hungry, very, very hungry. Victor, I'll bring you inside quickly. What do you now you take on the food insecurity? Wait and say, don't double. You subscribe to that?
I just happy with my brother in a conclusion and make a quick, because as you say, come on, say the SLPP quick for during the time of what they call they go make law this, but if we end up for say even happen in the then government, we always see whether a government come and go. Then any time we the time they don't, the parliament can become very hot in bringing rush laws for let it go be passed. Then they would not see it on several occasions. And if we go back to the area of the hungry and the agriculture, if we can grumble about agriculture today, we would have started long since with the areas of concern where they should so. These areas would have started long since. We say agriculture from the then to now really talk say they don't establish enough for let us see say the agriculture boom. So that one has not be a tale for any of them. I mean, then and current, I mean, you can cast the same blame for Leo going to run for CC. Let's they are for not being something of the past. If argument can come there, but agriculture is it must be an area of concern. Like where this government can it puts area of concern by education. Next can be now any government for the can be agriculture. Agriculture counting out, and as some when they talk, where they talk say agriculture can be counting laws. But we really want for see who side look at people that they really plant and do much. But why is that they do that one day? Let there be as a start massive investors where they will come in the country and take bulk areas there within the district there or the region there and embark on massive mechanizing farming. And from there now, underneath now, the locals they go begin to operate now and get more interest motivated and see say there is need. But if it's limited to just locals for let it do now like you want let you teach, you want to be ABC, but you don't get teacher before you are learn by yourself, it can be difficult because you don't even know how to make lesson note for yourself.
I want to ask you a quick question because on to be they make reference to this point of you know, especially governments come and gone, you know, don't they how they call them, don't they take responsibility for this? But I ask you this question, you know. If at this age, my own age as I dey right now, you know, where I supposed to take care of my own picking, if I poor, now my papa a responsibility.
It cannot be the responsibility of your father, but can be counted to you as to how he put you a line.
You line don't begin break. I hope you know don't move from your position. You line don't begin break.
Hello.
Yeah, you get me?
You get me now?
Yes. So the question I ask now, me don't tell like this age where they so right now, but are poor. Why me papa for take responsibility for that?
You age where you don't be so right now. For let you take responsibility of yourself. Though outgone far than the time where you papa they bring you up. It get some foundation building in you. But human being is dynamic. Along the line, your papa go you where then you change later for be a bad person. Along the line, your papa might not bring you where, but later you become a good person in future.
So the responsibility for you transform your life, then you earn solely.
The responsibility when you compare to your papa when you be small and the age where you dey is different from the responsibility where government will just come on yesterday and other government can't today inside in line with you.
No, it's not different at all. You know why? You know why it's not different? You know, when government in, government out, everybody they know the problem of the country. And you there in opposition, like right now as we do so, when they talk about inflation, we don't hit 43%. The opposition, then the knuckling just say, then get idea. So if they come, we for begin encourage them by excuses.
No. You know they encourage on some excuse on somebody idea way they put. And when this comes in again, realize the education again. We are in when you dey out of something. Like right now, what say you dey so they give you appointment for a position. What that position, you know who like it. Then they tell you say if you can't do, what you go do? You not go to eat. And you don't know what you did at the ground. You can say anything because you want to be on board. So because you want to be on board, your promises have to be.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure of what you say so because when you go for job, for example, Victor, when you go for job, for example, yeah, then they ask you for don't do research, you don't know how the job like waiting the job take, and remember we don't go a lot of interviews. So when then they ask you say if you come at the job, what will you do? Yeah, not about and not be known and make a talk. No. You get for be very much honest because your performance get for count.
Yourself not Kandeh now that you've done your research and you know what are the areas we they put it. Let me bring that quickly to the area of what's our commodity store where now the finance actually try for put it now. The one we be there they try it and they'll come out. And the one we don't Kandeh now. And you see what be the way they try for put it. And be there inside this particular place they try it. And I like the promise say well come out. So I go. Then now you wear shoes at moment they wear the body, you don't know what side depend the day. You can say anything say but that shoes are where they go to open small.
So there you go again. The issue of this minister right now, we don't bring this finance act so Victor. As a deputy, Victor, please. Victor, as a deputy,
to the mind of people, then I'll let them walk on her. But let me come back to where you are coming.
No, wait. Before you go to where they come from, you talk about this minister, for example. In have been the deputy, when in boss been there, inside been there, we been not studio and ask a question. If this man have been the deputy and now it don't can be waiting could be in defense, but now we don't see the kind of law we don't bring even worse past the one we been there.
So you don't come back to waiting make at the talk say when you did out of governance and you see what the struggle with other person the struggle on then you say what can I fix out then you can now that moment there have been some challenges around it
so when you fail forget the thing right you supposed to blame the one way commodity
at the same time shift to that one day again to when you can do that moment day and hold this governance globally how situation be there conditions every day, economically, how every day. All those things have to be in perspective.
So if you don't match chest and then you fail for give results, you for blame somebody?
You can't do the way they come for can't change the economy. You know, they change no more if you not depend on other outside additional help or
Let me bring external example for you, Victor. The British Prime Minister, the last one we resigned. 45 days now taking office, he say no go able. He resign. He blames somebody where they don't wreck the economy, right?
Can you compare the British, the white, status, integrity, credibility?
Yes, the government every day they compare we and Britain. I remember we get Imran Naya. We get Imran they compare we and Britain.
Or that thing outside they go tell you say for this kind of job we don't give me what I see this and that and they resign. How many blacks?
All right,
how many Sierra
Edward, kind of
yes, Slpp like me brother they talk like say the salon, and this is not out of any disrespect. As media practitioners, we have the responsibility for holding with politicians. They're accountable for their statements. We also know that we are going to elections. The media has the responsibility for making sure say we scrutinize and read every manifesto we get for be presented to the people of this country by them political parties there. My brother know very well that during the last elections, the then J.J. Safa, where the former Minister of Finance and Economic Development, former Minister of Finance, did say, with the million opposition, that when income in 6 months, when the government, SLP government get for kind of power, they say in 6 months, they say they're going to address the issue of economy, the bread and butter, in 6 months. And it was so assertive and it was so authoritative. And even when after we then win the election, we owe them to be, a policy statement. There's also the new direction manifesto that was presented to the people of this country, and also the APC manifesto that was presented to the people of this country. All me can say, the media today, we are becoming so lazy that we just want for more people, politicians come forward and tell we we don't go beyond again, to investigate, to find out, and then to make analysis out of what they tell we. We they take them as a gospel truth. I say this, the issue of the economy, what they try to discuss about the issue of agriculture, these are fundamental, in the governance of the state, because these are the life support of the state. These are the citizens that they look forward to. If I have to prioritize, certain aspects of development of this country, education, yes, security, yes, agriculture is yes. Agriculture is so paramount in the point that when the people become hungry, when angry don't want in a country, what is the result to now violence? Right now, what's happening right now? Now serious economic violence. Now they go on in the country right now, because people cannot afford even 5 loans, like for buy bread and money. Yesterday night, I buy a loaf of bread, 7,000 leones, a loaf of bread, 7,000 leones yesterday night. And this, I tell you, between me and me God, that I'm not trying to, exaggerate anything. But when you look at that thing, they find out, say, the people are really suffering. That's the fact, that's the reality. And if we not begin for all the politicians then accountable based on their manifesto, based on their statement, the way that they make now public, then we are missing the point. In my own view, this government and the previous government, they have not made progress in terms of addressing the food security in this country. They have not. They have not. We see the last step of this program.
That's my area. That's my point. The then and the current. That's my point. Yeah, that's what you are making now. They not really make area of agriculture. That's the area.
So in my own view, SLP, me think say we have to be serious now, with agriculture in our country. This country right now, they recently see when the issue reports say this Sierra Leone are one of the most angry country in the world. Not so. I don't know if you don't.
Poorest in the world. Yes.
So some of them report they are, and I should say is indicting, on the country image and even the government in power. Because
and you see how worse
the
it be,
response,
even when we watch or you assess from one nation, them who side they get serious war, who side they get drought and other thing, them, but they way still better off than us.
that's the point. And we look at it right now, what me they say sometimes this issue of what they try for, look at our politicians and they would try as if we are worshiping them, and as if now we owe them an obligation. They owe us an obligation because during the elections, these are the campaign messages where they bring forward to the people, where inspire the people to vote for them. And so any government can in power, there is no need for too much of excuses because you already been on tell the people and say this is what you are going to do if they are given the mantle of leadership. Now that the people are not going to a social contract with you and they have given you the mantle of leadership, what they are looking forward and a result.
You have to work towards it.
But what's happening at Sierra Leone right now is more of excuses, and at the end of the day, the ordinary Sierra Leoneans in life, they become difficult day in, day out. I travel extensively across the country. I've been to every district in this country, and I've been to over 126 chiefdoms across the country. I can tell you, go to communities right now, as I talk to you so now, the people are living as if they are not Sierra Leoneans. Let me shock you this information. I get a medical doctor who is my personal friend.
Your own updates of your movement. I'm a movement across country. They do not this country.
Yes. So let me
yesterday quickly.
A medical doctor.
Yesterday we talked to.
It's rare. It's rare. For a
second, let me say this. For health reason, I have a medical doctor of a friend of mine that recently I've been engaged in. I ask and say, why is it that this country within the past 10 years, 20 years, would they get, so much death rate in the country, and also would they get so much sickness, especially so we talk about diabetes, So it was so frank enough. You know what he tell me? He say the bulk of the problem is that the imported rice what they eat in the country. The imported rice.
For sure.
They say now irresponsible for most of their sickness.
And I did the money they go.
When we talk about the diabetes and many other sicknesses, and when you talk about the economy also, the government of Sierra Leone, they spend over $300 million annually on importation of rice, which in my own view, if you use $300 million, you invest into agriculture as a country like Sierra Leone, with 8 million people, believe in me, Slpp will be able to begin see the result at the end of the day. Okay. But this too much of importation of rice into the country is killing our people.
I want to fast tell this thing quickly because we run out of time and we'll all get a busy schedule. Let's go quickly to another issue where we basically the top issue down the way where we don't see happen in 2 days there. Where now the issue of how they call it KKY and the SLPP Concord Times newspaper. We get the different paper that we get different headline them on the same issue. Concord Times newspaper say 2023 presidential elections KKY Bio alliance. This let's go to the other one quickly and see. Let's just go quickly and see. But basically, it gets to do with the alliance of Kandeh, Yumkella, and that of SLPP. Finally, we don't see this that happen. So what's I wanna take on this? I'll start with you again, Victor.
Basically, that thing that I not new.
Yeah.
You not new at all. We know about the PMDC, Charles Magai. We know about the PDP Sobe. We know about these things are not new. The only thing where this they try for showcase, for the alliance political party, the way election they not they jump into another political party. And for they don't publicly showcase that in Sierra Leone, third force party is not there at all. It is not possible to not work. It not work because at the end of the day, that's why they can go into the third, fourth parties. Now people that way they come up from this two mommy the way na meet also one great papa, one great man, when at the SLPP and APC. Now they born all the other people there when at the other political party there. So you get the prodigal son. The pikin that say when me I go, I come on. I don't know. I not like the way they hold me, or I want to go enjoy. So you don't go to enjoy better not they. You don't feel say now all thing don't do. Then they say I go back to my papa yeah, and all thing did it. Now we no more. I just be come on because I can't taste life. And I saw the political party did it. I mean I can always in fact they talk say hadn't be me. If I be get that power, let the two party only stay. Everybody who say you did. The two parties there. They don't know now these two parties there. But the third, fourth, what they try for really put the multi-party system in place for let it work. They always be like na henga de there. Where election come, they all come on do. Now like that and they all they go inside there. Wait time reach for come out. They all they come out. That time they come out. All man they do. As time don't know more, all man lost back. They not go get pass election. Now you go begin to see that they match. Some they even forget. So then a portfolio political parties. Then if you get office space where you go the way 2, 3 chair go team up. We have seen this kind of political parties. And at the end of the day, they go back to join. And what did they go join now for? Now either wait. Sometimes when the election can they go run off. They will hang out now. You will come between. If I promise you with 1, 2, 3 ministerial post, cabinet director, this and that. That's what they hang for. So we don't know say this now so it happen. And for Yumkella, let me come back there. So let's go back into SLPP. Now say come out. The one that they don't go to APC, where they don't go. I mean where Dr. Samsumana. Samsumana, if you think of the way how APC deal with her, they pull on in chair. They even run after her. They with words away talk say in get statement as against in Botswana the president, the former president, and it's by Kuma. In get waiting for talk for the Ebola and this and that. Would I be ever imagine say Samsumana will go back to APC? Who was imagine that? But what did they try for talk? Now they come out. So Yumkella, where in Papa he host na Cambia, now they SLPP come out. There it's perfect. It don't go. Expect him to go back. The whole APC. He cannot go to APC.
Okay, we find out say NDC been there part of court.
So going back to SLPP by Yumkella, it's at the same as Samsumana going back to APC. Okay. So what can we say about Samsumana as a debate on this compared
Edward.
And all other areas there? Where does my guy go?
Yes.
Where does my guy go?
Yeah.
You know, can directly to SLPP. But was he not the Attorney General under the President Bill, where he can as a first Attorney General? And what does that speak on that tone? Not on that, na me papa, na me party back and go.
All right. So what can we say, Edward? What thing you take on the Kandeh Yumkella in alliance?
You know, Sembepi say this, and Victor they described KKY as a prodigal son coming back home. You see, this are the problem with politics now. With politics now, you know, we get for no, yeah. Hold on, Victor. Hello.
You talk your view. Don't cut on me.
Yeah, but Victor, you talk say KKY in party like you turn back, nothing no wrong, and you make reference to the prodigal.
The reference I made for that prodigal son area is holistic, is general. I make a call Samsumana.
Yeah, but if you don't make holistic reference, that means that you don't refer to KKY as well as a prodigal.
Whatever way you name it. But this
wait. Victor, let me get this right. Not a we. Now you word where you use, now it use as well.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Listen. With
the word, it's not new. It is very common.
Victor,
no, not talk like say it's fearful.
All right, so don't listen to Edward quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
It is so good. Victor, to me, no police party, no good again, apart from the two.
All right, go ahead.
But Victor, can you listen to us now?
Yeah, go ahead, Edward.
Yeah, this is no hard feelings. I was just merely making reference to what he said, and just for come back to me on point one for say. You know, we get for draw the line in the politics of Sierra Leone. We get for sanitize the politics of our country. We get for hold our politicians accountable. And me want for look at KKY that na man we don't lost integrity. It's not useful anymore. It's not influential anymore. He not get a voice again into the political space of our country. Why I say so?
Politicians don't look at integrity. So then they know the
Victor, make a submission.
Victor, you don't make a submission. Listen to me. I'm making my own view. You have to make your own point. Let me come back to the issue. This now the Yumkella way come. It refer both to the APC and the SLPP as Alusain and Alassane. And he made a lot of nasty statements about them two political parties that they cannot be trusted anymore to govern this country. He's on record to have said so. So Yumkella decided for establish a political party, the NGC. Some of us looking at MGC in the beginning, we thought that the NGC might likely be the third force. We would give a lot of hope to Sierra Leoneans and the alternative to the governance of this country, where, as he been say, let we just bury the Alassane and the Alusain. Okay, they form the NGC. The rest is just a story. But we see NGC as a political party. Yumkella not able to run the NGC as a political party to a point that the NGC is now in disarray. People that were the forefront runners of the political party, like Dr. Dennis Bright and others, they've left. We see that Yumkella now is begging people to come, and nobody is ready or willing to return back. So now you don't look at the NGC, that the NGC is not useful anymore. The NGC not get a political space anymore, and he has decided not to go back to the SLPP because he wants to be heard and he wants to be recognized. The strategic alliance he was talking about all this time, it was just a strategic alliance for Yumkella as an individual, for able to benefit from the political cake of the country. All what would they say right now, where Yumkella is going back to the SLPP, if me and President Bill, I will just treat Yumkella like somebody that just come around as an errand boy, but I will not look at him as a serious politician. And he don't deserve anything from the SLPP if me and President Bill, even if the SLPP win, because he not get anything relevant anymore for bringing to that table, because he not get following anymore. And look at what he recently in visit Nakambia. Yumkella 9 days ago Nakambia and they go meeting, you will barely just come and snap and come to the people where they snap and they listen to him. Is that the Yumkella we know before? Is that the Yumkella we became in 2007, 2018? We be the gold meeting in Nakambia, we be the gold meeting in Africa, we be the gold in Kono, the gold part of the country. Is that the Yumkella we are seeing today? So Yumkella in political career, I can tell you, the last I've said this many times. You know, when politicians lack integrity,
when you don't get stand again to the Chasmagai, to the Samsumana, and to the
I'm coming to Charles Maga, I'm coming to Samsumana. But hold on, let me, you don't make a point. You have to allow we let we make a point.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
Bro. It's okay.
Yes, I'm here to make my own opinion. You have expressed your own opinion. This is my own analysis I'm making.
Go ahead.
So,
I just pinpoint some areas that will be considered.
Like say where Kroman say, and I'm sorry to say this, like what Kroman say, we say where duck they go lick in vomit. So it's like Yumkella don't go back there, don't go lick in vomit. The vomit is that Yumkella will be they say the APC and SLPP na Alusain Alassane. All of them will be said about them. They go back to that. Is that the kind of integrity we look forward to from politicians then? Somebody the other day, they try for compare, like when you talk, Dixon they talk about the white, say, oh no, white man in different parts different. But let me say this. When it comes about bad precedent in this country, would they glorify them and would they look at them and say, oh yes, we're not Africa and this and that. When you make reference to the best practice, then they say, oh, that's white man.
Honestly, when they glorify them, it is not good.
Yes.
It is bad that picture they try for talk, that the integrity And they talk about integrity, compared to the white. Black man don't get that one day. I didn't mean also. I respect my integrity. Now that's what they try for express. Not to glorify you. When they talk about why people don't really stand by their words, why they not pursue, and make a space for let them be dignified society. That's what I'm saying. It's not a glorify, bro.
Okay. Now you are coming forward. Now let's look at the people and you can look at some of them politicians and to the way they don't take their decision and they ask people to be trusted. Do they have the integrity? Where you go look at them and say, oh, these are the kind of politicians and this will get for look forward to for govern Sierra Leone. The answer is no. They are not. They are not sincere. They are not honest. Nobody should trust them. But Yumkella going back for me. Hey, let we not just talk about this. It's not relevant. Because in fact, the more we discuss Yumkella now, would they gain relevancy in the sense that as if it's important now, we campaign 2023 election. As far as this 2023 election and moving forward, it's not important anymore. It's not relevant because me when the talk show, there was a point in time I interviewed Yumkella. Some of the things he said to me, I was convinced. I looked at him like an angel is coming to redeem Sierra Leone. And today, it's sad that less than 4 years down the line, it was kind of, the man was talking to us like he's coming like to a new Sierra Leone, wherein he will bury the APC governance style, the SLP governance style. He was talking about national unity, national cohesion, and how he want to make sure that this country become like a paradise. And make reference to Singapore, that he has been there. Look at Singapore today. He has traveled all over the world. It brings out references. When they talk to you, you'll be merely convinced and they look at, and they watch the man in the face and they say, I said, this is this Saloma, we don't come. But when I trace back the history, this was a Yumkella when I be a minister of trade under the NPRC. When you look at the oil refinery we had at Wellington, it was part of the deal.
So simple, simple word from with politicians then, theory different from practical.
That's now we don't begin to see from them.
Okay.
Now that's now we don't begin to see from them.
The discussion not going to now so much. The discussion hold on, Mara. The discussion don't go into now so much, and I don't begin forget the time. But we don't run out of time. Mara, you been just talk about 1 hour. Now you go do. We don't clock 1 hour 7 minutes. So I want to ask you now from the last submission inside the program before we go.
Now you talk about theory and the practicality.
Yes.
Let me say, man say this. You see, George Safa. George Safa, before coming to governance, is now one of the young guys that I behold to the highest esteem when it comes to about the economy. Some of the things it was about, like the theoretical aspect of it and the practical out of it. We don't say and I say he just end up for exposing himself. Let's look at Professor Kalon. Professor Kalon being 34 years in the classroom, he don't produce doctorate students there. He get products all over the world. And this was the man that they said, "Bo, look at just the Central Bank of Sierra Leone, a population of 7 million, manage their central bank, help them in terms of developing economic policies and all that, roll out economic policies, we will bring the betterment of the economy, we will help the ordinary Sierra Leoneans." After messing up for 4 years, inside 4 years, 4 months or 6 months, and I say the only solution being, we go back to agriculture. Professor Kalon, for God's sake,
if you say pass God help me now.
Yes, then if you know say that was the only solution, the moment you arrive as bank governor at the central bank, if we don't straight go to that point, they say what do you think say go bring back the economy? Don't go back into agriculture. Not so we don't fail now. We are coming back now to provide solutions. That's the solution.
Okay.
So for me, President Biona is in charge. Again, for be very careful because they don't bring people who don't end up for deceive them. And these are people that are still around the corridors of his government and also within the SLP as a political party. They have to be very watchful. The same thing happens to President Kuma. In the second time of President Kuma's presidency, we have some few guys from the diaspora, they came, some of them, then went to, then go to their community colleges, and they came with fake papers, and they begin to brag around that, oh, they are Mr. A, they Mr. B, they have this, they have that. But when they placed them in simple ministries, departments, and agencies, they messed up. So these are the kind of people where today they're still around now. They are praying now for APC to come back to power so that they will come back again and join, the whole folks in the country, to mess up again the country. So we as media practitioners, let us open our eyes more than ever before for not begin holding them politicians accountable.
You paper where you work for very much aligned with your work where you do or your analysis. The informant, you just don't inform a lot of people about everything that happened. Please, thank you very much and hold on. Victor.
Thank you.
What will be your last submission?
My last submission will start from Musa end.
Okay.
With regards to the country, the deceptive areas, the one that they can, they really make like say they have all the ideas and can lie or deceive the president. At the end of the day, they cannot prove well. It's very unfortunate because you one great mistake, they tell on the entire nation, the entire lives and of human inside that particular country. So we would love to see that one we stand up for again for ask somebody out of a ministry if you know they do well at all. The moment you don't think for now, make use of it immediately. This diaspora issue of employment. We're not going to talk to somebody that the diaspora if you can't enough for work. No, not that enough for work, but that person where they forget our job to when I'm from the diaspora for that day that the country spend some time in the dying moment and used to the like be accustomed to what's there on the ground, so that when you know what's there on the ground, if given the position, you go really know the needs of the people and go serve well. And at the end of the day, the praise will go to the government and the praise will go to the president. But if he knew for like come out just from the diaspora and can't hold the job when he has not, he or she has not been on the ground, God for and the white system work out it forget the African system they come in. And the African system, we are not that much law abiding. We are you say today this is the law and now we go walk up. Everybody they tested the law. He have to say I get lawyer, he go talk for me. Then when they go again, now the court they go not find out say this was wrong, but because now fumble, then they compromise. Then the case go the different way. So anybody that they give job, where be sent from diaspora they come out. If you want to get a job, you want promise her. If for that day in the country, within the 1, 2, 3 years, for let it study the environment, so that if given the job, it will leave to expectation, if not 100%, but go there around the percentage where necessary. I think that was one of the things that one day. I mean, to me personally, as I talk to date, I know a trade tree. In one of New York area than they, because for whatever they go up now, not that it go down 100% for let's say it go down, but a trade monitors, itself will be very effective for them at the field and see the day-to-day activities of the market and see say you go control measures. I mean the market system they know the global trend. If forget a special desk, you know say every day this is the price now the international peak. So that from there, you go able to filter down and know what it go determine, say a country go deal within that landscape. You know to go degrees. But if they are around that area, let do something like any sabotage or whatsoever in the market system. But I'm not seeing that tax be up to it. So that area, in my personal view. So that kind of people there, when you want to bring them on board, they should be on ground and knows the issue. And if they mess, you don't need for waste time with them. Pull and lay out another person immediately. That he spend a long time look like the bank governor. That the tail end left. It tells on the people, not on the government no more. It can foretell, but not the people because we are the beneficiaries of all.
And not only disrespect to the president, but it disrespect to the people of Sierra Leone because he left unceremoniously.
Hello.
Yeah, we get you.
Yeah, so then the area they done the way, if tackled well, it could be good. Agriculture is an emphasis area. like the way our government do with education, agriculture. Where you man go, they go see get on be get TV, televisions, or plasma. For the people that go see that they watch news. So people don't know about government. Sir. Once somebody clean a for go, a get what to eat, also no. So the agriculture area, pretty much is more resources in the pressure area. I think that can manage well. So government really need for him back, but left na the local people that have no more. The code that can go give my shit the then government, the current government will give my shit to people that are the villages they let them plant. How strong, how efficient and effective would they be? How managerial process go take place?
Yeah, because if you give people away where they're not getting any interest in agriculture, that's the way they're going up for this do.
Forget bigger industries where they go and back on massive farming and the balance now where you don't see open big like inside filter they see their graphs this and that they open big land people that they go work agriculture then they go.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So Edward, Victor in line they connect. And just to make reference to the bank governor, I talked to Imran the last day. I just want to give a quick comment on that day. I talked to Imran the other day. They tell we say bank governor no, they not sack him, he not run away, he go on, he leave. They could be done pack and leave them and leave be done boku. So he go on and leave and he come back very soon. As a journalist, what do you think of this?
Maybe Imran will say so because it's part of the the government, and sometimes this government's issue of secrecy within government, they therefore do everything possible for protect the image of the government. But from the information we don't float so far at the corridors of the powers that be, and also within the media, as part of some of our own investigation, this man left unceremoniously, and then even the president. Some say na complete disrespect to the president. Somebody will give job, you left unceremoniously without telling the president, but that you are coming back. You went and you didn't return back. And even the people of Sierra Leone, when are the taxpayers' money then they use for pay you, there was no press release to the effect for inform the citizen and say the bank governor has left. Look, he gets a whole PRO, Breastford Taylor. Breastford Taylor is the public relation officer for the Bank of Sierra Leone. We have seen former bank governors, even when they go attend meeting in Nigeria, then they go attend IMF meeting, then they go attend World Bank meeting. Then they issue a press statement that the bank governor don't left, he don't go, and he will come at social time, and he go attend a meeting, and he's coming back. And in certain cases, even when they come, the bank governor then they convey a press conference that yes, we went to the IMF meeting. This was the outcome of the meeting. That has been happening with the previous bank governors from then Samadi then time, Dr. Kefala Mara then time, Dr. Sanfa Kumar then time, and many of the previous bank governors the way they've been on the day. But this one, it remains a mystery. 30 days people are not able to believe that the bank governor that he went, on leave, or whether way he go, now leave he go, or whether now run away. And there are even some people that are saying that, so the bank governor, now run away for security reasons and for many reasons. But the government, through the Bank of Sierra Leone or the Bank of Sierra Leone PR department, will come up with an official statement explaining to the public, like where Imran they say that he went on medical.
No, on leave, not medical, on leave.
Okay, on leave. If that is true, even if you are going to leave, the bank governor is the principal advisor, economic advisor to the president. The bank governor is in charge of economic developing policies for our economy. is very important in the country. In fact, the bank governor is almost equivalent to the status of almost like a president, because they don't ever stay in this country, say they get a minister's lodge, but you get presidential lodge, they get the governor's lodge. The bank governor, they no more get lodge in this country on union, the bank governor. After the president in lodge, now only the bank governor now get lodge in this country that they officially that the bank governor. Sometimes even with diplomat in the car, they would drive to his lodge, to get meeting. So that tells you how important the office is. So if he's living out of the country for whatever reason, whether on leave or whether for a visitation, then for make the public know. So because they failed to do that, there is too much suspicion now that yes, indeed, this man ran away. Some are saying that, if they don't fall out with the bureau regime, and every speculations are coming now because nobody came out to with a press release to inform the public about in going and what you go for and why you go. So that's not the issue.
Okay. Thank you very much, Edward, for you joining me inside the program today. Thank you. We'd actually passed the 1 hour where you've been asked for, but I know the discussion so much interesting, so much that you actually want to put more fire. But thank you very much for you joining me, and please get a good day.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so in him now Edward Mara, we join me inside the program, and the informant newspaper online and newspaper as well, and you as well get Victor Tutu Rogers. We as well join we inside the program, a journalist, a human rights activist and all, where they all two do actually make them points, whether they argue this angle, whether they argue this angle, and all of them get to views them about the different analysis them where they don't give it today. Well, until then, what we get from it again. The producer for this program, now Ilyas Abba. Thank you very much. We appreciate you, and thanks to the guests that we join with. Thanks to you with the watch. Thanks to you with the like. Thanks to you with the share. We appreciate you now. We'll go meet again on Net by God in Power inside the program we call We Are. Until then, Slpp the freedom fighter. God bless you, country Sierra Leone, where we call We Are.
Another morning again inside we had plenty things then they happen. I wonder how news again what go here today. But this be small country we had. Anyway, before I go to the wall and we had, let's just go to my kitchen and check my colors.
Yes, colors. Some man really like for it in the morning. Some people say them just like when they eat don't sleep. Other people say na the cow they like, especially when they cook the soup or plasas where they like pass all. So now that make we bring to you this program where we call Colores, as we dey look at different story them na the front page and inside the newspaper. So not forget to join me on Monday to Friday, both Facebook and YouTube. Usai we go bring to una different guests them where they can help for talk about the newspaper. We are channel for the voice of the voiceless.